What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're sniffing around the PetSafe Guardian GPS dog fence, a subscription-free, customizable GPS-powered pet containment system that's built for properties over 3/4 of an acre. No wires, no digging, and here's the kicker: no monthly fees to bleed your wallet dry, unlike those fancy pants premium GPS fences. And in this review, I'm going to rip everything wide open, setting it up, testing its tricks, figuring out if it's the real deal for you and your four-legged escape artist. So let's dive in and see if this thing's got what it takes to keep your pup in check. First and foremost, you got the most important part, which is the collar itself. Pretty standard for a smart collar. Looks very similar to the invisible fence GPS. In fact, if you already have one of those, you may not want to set this next to it and get it confused. You get your little USB-A charger blocks, whatever you want to call them. And of course, two cords to go with them. One cord goes for charging the collar, and the other one goes to this base unit that I'm poorly attempting to remove from the box right here. Once it comes out, you can see it a little better. It's got a little antenna on the top there and a wall mounting bracket on the back, which is very simple to use as well. Underneath here, you got a few more things, and as usual, they pack all this stuff in here for no particular reason. You've got your extra nodes for static shock if you need them, and the tool to remove them. And of course, you got your QR codes and your warranty information as well. And that pretty much wraps it up. Now, as far as setup is concerned, PetSafe did not create an overly convoluted system. There were a few hiccups that I came across as I set it up, but I'll walk you through the entire process. Now, once you're done mounting your home base, you can go ahead and download that app. This is pretty standard fare stuff. If you have an Android, obviously things look different, but same basic concept. You know how this goes in general. And everything's pretty standard operating procedure. You're going to have to scan for your box. Now, that confused me at first because I was originally scanning for the collar, which is how a lot of these collars work. But it wasn't until I hooked the box up, it powered it up before everything started working right. Scanned the box connects to the collar, and that's the order in which you should proceed. And then there's just a lot of the thing that makes this really kind of long is all of the little things you got to click through. You got to enable your location services, and then it's got all these different suggestions. And then you have to be specific about where in the house you mount your base unit, your box. And then once you've done that, of course, you got to set it up on Wi-Fi. And this is really the only time you're going to be using Wi-Fi. Everything else after this is cell connection, GPS, things of that nature. And I had a few problems here, as you can see. It said oops a couple of times, but perseverance pays off. Keep hitting that continue button and it will eventually get there. So that was a little aggravating, but it didn't last long. Then the box is going to do its update. Who knows how long it's been sitting in a box. And then you name it. Then, like I said, you got a lot of literature you have to go through here. Just basically clicking continue or getting started, and finally you can build your fence. Now I sped this up a little bit, and it's another thing that kind of aggravates me about the collar is you have to set your fences and your lines up 25 feet away from your home. Now if I wanted to keep my dogs in the front yard only, then obviously that would not work because I'd have to stop it too close to my house. So that's kind of aggravating, but it is what it is. It covers the front and the backyard. And then as you can see, everything from here on out is just clicking from one screen to the next. Let's talk features. The PetSafe Guardian GPS dog fence is all about flexibility. No trudging around your yard like a chump with a spot on or halo, drawing boundaries with your boots. Nope, you whip out the My PetSafe app, sketch your fence from the couch, keep those virtual fence posts at least 25 feet from no-go zones, roads, pools, homes, etc. Edit or redraw it anytime the mood strikes, and it'll wrangle up to 5 dogs if you snag extra collars. It's containment with a side of lazy genius swagger. Perfect for big properties over 3/4 of an acre in size. Now we get to the fun stuff, training and correction. The Guardian GPS fence rocks AccuGuard Tech GPS, AI, and real-time motion detection all mashed together. It's got 2 correction flavors, a warning tone and vibration that'll nudge your dog in the right direction. Hey guy, turn around. It's It's also got static correction with 10 levels of zap. It's off by default, so you can ease into it with the included 2-week training guide. It's safe, firm, and teaches your dog the fence is not a suggestion. Pretty slick for a gadget that doesn't need a PhD to run. All right, so you've seen me set up my invisible fence in the app. Now all I'm simply going to do is test it out. I went ahead and stuck 2 stakes in the ground back there where I set the invisible fence up. So we're gonna see how effective the collar is, and we'll walk it across. Simple as that. About a foot shy of the stake, so that's pretty good. I'm sure you can hear it here on the mic. One thing I will say is I set up the home base unit just inside the sliding glass door right next to it, so it's got a more unobstructed access to the backyard. If you set something like that up in the interior of your house, the more concrete it's got to go through, the more bricks, the more wood, the more drywall, the more metal, the more it's going to degrade the overall signal. So I think it's a good idea if you set your home base up and you mount it on the wall like I did, that you set it as near to a door as you can. In this case, a sliding glass door. If you don't have that, set it up near the door or a window if possible. Now for the pros and cons. The good, no monthly fees. Excellent battery life. It's an app-based setup that's fairly simple, and it's cheaper than those overpriced competitors. The bad, if your yard's under 3/4 of an acre, tough luck. This isn't for you. And it doesn't track your dog's every move and sprint, it just contains them. Solid wins, but it's not chasing your runaway mutt down the highway. The PetSafe Guardian GPS dog fence hits you for $449.95. One time, no recurring stuff. That nets you the base, the collar, the charging, nuts and bolts, contact points, and guides. Extra collars if your pack's a circus. For big properties, it's a steal. Accurate GPS, custom boundaries, and setup that doesn't make you want to hurl your phone. There's no subscription fees. It's a middle finger to the money pit of premium fences. Bayou City. You gotta love that. Alrighty, wrapping it up with my conclusion and recommendation. Who is this for? Pet owners with yards 3/4 of an acre or bigger, folks who want a budget-friendly GPS fence without monthly BS, and anyone who loves app-based tinkering over manual labor. Who should bail? Small yard suckers or those needing to stalk their dog's every move. Check the Guardian GPS Plus tracking for that. This thing's reliable, cost effective, and custom as hell for big lots. No fees, just freedom. You want in? Use these discount codes. Save $20 on $150 spent with WAF20, $30 on $200 spent with WAF30, $60 on $300 spent with WAF60. The links are below. Grab them at checkout and save some of that beer money. Like, subscribe, holler your questions, and as always, thanks for watching and keep those pups safe until next time.